So let your whole body weight go down and be comfortable with your posture. Keep your neck head straight in one line. And also while you focusing to this bell sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, relax your breathing, and let everything to settle down itself. And gently close your eyes, please, and follow the sound. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, and today in this session, we're going to practice our tranquility meditation and vipassana meditation. So, it is important to keep practice one meditation technique, and you become more experienced and you master the technique yourself. So once you develop one meditation method, and it will help for you to slowly understand overall the methods and how it works. So when it comes to tranquility meditation, our main purpose is bringing our mind to its own place and make our mind usable. So the mind always follow go with the thoughts. So the thoughts always follow the patterns, structures and timing, and jumping to past, future, and the desires, emotions, formations, defilements, this all related to thoughts. So then, knowingly or unknowingly what is happening, mostly during your daytime, your mind always busy with thoughts. And deeply, when the mind becomes busy with thoughts, what is happening? So whatever the perception that happening to you, whatever the informations, that whatever the experience happening with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind is not going to be free itself, because the consciousness, when your consciousness governed by thoughts, and if the thoughts mean patterns, so then yourself, that already something in your mind, and whatever that you experience in the moment, you're not going to see it. So when that pattern, then when your thought pattern becomes stronger, what is happening? You just become like a robot. You're just repeating your life. Again and again and again and again, you just keep doing something. And if you look very carefully, this conventional life means that we just repeat. That's why it called life is full of habit. So in tranquility meditation, what we does, we allow our mind to settle down to one place. So that one place is our inhalation, exhalation. So that is where we keep our primary mental object in front of your nose and your upper lip area, sensation of the inhalation, exhalation. So without making anything happen, without trying to inhale or exhale, without thinking I inhale or I exhale, without counting, just allow your inhalation, exhalation to happen naturally. And when the inhalation, exhalation happen itself, just recognize it separately. This is inhalation, this is exhalation. So don't comment on it, don't interfere with it, then don't try to judge or don't try to maintain it. Stay away from it, but keep watching. So if your mind go here and there, don't worry about it. Why? Because that is what we used to be. So then in overnight, suddenly within 1 minute, it's not going to settle down because it doesn't have any structure, pattern or form. It go with whatever available. So right away when you give an object, sometimes the mind not going to be there. So that's why be patient. When you cultivate your mind, being patient is the important part in any part of life. If you try to cultivate something, just imagine, even that you're doing farming, you're doing gardening, you're planting a tree, even you cooking, there is a process that you have to accept and you have to go through. It's not suddenly going to happen because of your thoughts. So then it is in this tranquility meditation, learn to develop the art to be relaxed and learn to wait. And it is a great profitable skill if you can develop. Just you learn to be wait. And rather than jumping, rather than kind of like pushing forward, looking forward, stretching yourself, just settle down. So that is important. So developing that patience is the most important foundation for your development or cultivation of your mind. And observe whatever the experience go. It's not going to be by order. In the beginning, for inhalation, exhalation, begin the long, short, and so like that. It's not going to be like that sometimes. But just keep going. In case if you see something, just recognize it. And in the beginning, separately recognize inhalation, exhalation. And then when you see more clearly your inhalation, exhalation, bring your attention a little bit more and then follow the entire continuation. You may experience some inhalation, exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft like that. Just accept it, see it. Let everything to settle down. So once the mind tranquilized, from there we go to Vipassana meditation. So in the Vipassana level, and observe, keep the inhalation, exhalation sensation and observe the four elements: heat, motion, liquidity and hardness. And follow the sensation and recognize. When you recognize the sensation, you need this element to recognize that it has a sensation. Because without heat, motion, liquidity or hardness, there is no way your mind can understand the feelings. So according to the behavior of these four elements and understanding, and then feelings become good, or bad, or neutral, so like that, pleasant or unpleasant, like that. and according to the behavior of the four elements. So recognizing it and separately, so whatever the elements that you can feel, maybe the motion, sensation, or the heat, heaviness, so liquidity, so like that, whatever, just recognize. And sometimes when you observe in your entire body, whole body, you can feel as one. It is not by intentionally you do it, it naturally sometimes happen. So even it happen like that way, maybe entire body, suddenly you feel kind of like a heavy. So then hardness, just don't look for the body, just see the hardness. And sometimes you feel kind of like entire body, whole body, it's kind of like a flow, like a energy flowing. So recognize it, motion. And sometimes you feel like there's a body but no structure. And it kind of like a water. Because as you know, that the 70% of this body is water. So sometimes that all other elements settle down and then you start to feel kind of like water. In the ancient time in Western philo, one of the first Western philosopher, and even before the Plato, that what he told, this everything is water. The entire universe of this everything is water, what he told. So sometimes you feel like that way. And sometimes the heat. So like that, whatever the feelings arise, see, don't put attention to the pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling or neutral. Just see the elements. And once you see the elements and you see right away, it will change to another element. So then see the change. And whatever come to you, as even as a perception, through sound, smell, taste, sensation, or anything, whatever come to your mind, and if you are able to get see the nature of the four elements, and from there that you will experience something beyond this conventional level of experience. So let's practice a little bit. Your right palm on your left, neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. And scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Swapatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation, and focusing to the four elements. Bring your attention in front of your nose and your upper lip area. Deeply and gently, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalation, exhalation to happen itself naturally. And following the sensation, recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. Follow the entire continuation of the inhalation and exhalation. You may see some inhalation, exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. Just accept it and recognize. Bring your attention to feelings in your body or breathing. Just recognize and see the change. Bring your attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe, and as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this mentally, repeat after me with clear intention. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward, and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, our main purpose of this meditation session is understanding the truth, and especially developing the vipassana knowledge. So when it comes to that, as all of you experience, this human world governed by informations. And this human mind has some kind of attraction towards the information. And when it comes to the wisdom path, so in conventionally, your liberation also depend on the information that you gain. So our main purpose is reach to truth, gaining the truth, understanding the ultimate truth, not the conventional truth, ultimate truth or the eternal truth. From the ancient time, people used to look for the truth. And then what happened? Certain group of people used to hold certain information regarding the truth, and they used to maintain that. And that's why when it comes to the Brahman culture, and they used to hold the informations. And when it comes to Sanskrit language, they used to hold the grammatical methods. And still, when you look at the most religions, there is a hierarchy they develop. Because out of the information, oh, you don't know this. So then you have to come this way, that way. And there are many protocols that you have to follow to reach to the truth. Even you go to schools, even you go to universities, in this, even in this conventional truth, that this always the people maintain, and the people put barriers, people hold some informations, and they don't allow that everybody to access like that way. But when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, it's totally different. When the Buddha introduced this method of vipassana, not the samadhi, the method of the vipassana, that is the one of the main important part of the Buddha's teaching. And when it comes to that, it is not based with information. But what happened when you look at the history, this all the ordinary people, they start to overtake the method of the vipassana, and then they start to introduce with the informations. And because of that, what is happening, then we losing the real wisdom. It can happen. Because it going to happen. The reason we mixing information. So then when it come to the path of the wisdom, so we have to be very clear. When it come to path of the wisdom, there are two things: truth and justification. Listen this very carefully. So the truth is something else. Truth is no time period, no geographical boundaries, and no gender, no age limit. Truth is universal and timeless and boundless. So truth can explain only by truth. But there is something called justification. So what is the justification? Justification means you justify. So to justify, you need information, you need words. So you justify with the others and compare, and then with the society to communicate, and maybe whatever the according to the culture or the tradition, to go with it. So justification, you have to accept it, and then you have to convert to it. That is the very basic method of justification. When it comes to the philosophy, it go more deeper, but just overall to give a basic understanding. So this justification is play the bigger role in this conventional life. You go to school, you go to university, you follow the syllabus, and you follow the subjects, and you follow the teachers, you read the books, and you go to exams, you pass the exam, and then you become maybe a teacher, and then you teach. This everything related to justification. You justify. So when you go to exam, what you do? There are questions. From where you get it? So whatever you studied, who gave that knowledge? Somebody else gave it. Through some books, or maybe through some kind of methods or the patterns that they develop with related with the thoughts. So if you go to exams, and then you have to give answers related to that. So you justify. So this conventional knowledge, everything related to justification. But the thing is, sometimes we take that justification as truth. So then you just kind of like you very, very minor, shallow level, you stuck. And you don't know there is something else exists. But so when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, so Buddha, the breakdown, this all the barriers during that time, there are many religions. And it had all the hierarchies, many methods. And as you know, when the Buddha, as Prince Siddhartha, he born, and right away, that when he put the person, the right away, when the moment he born, he start to walk. It's just not on the dust. And all the lotus flowers arose, when he put his feet. And that itself, it's kind of like, the sign that conventionally he break down all the barriers and the hierarchies. And then the thing is this, he came to this world like that way. And he went through all the teachings, the greatest research that he done in his, the human life. He just never, overnight came out of the palace and told, I am the Buddha. No, he went through 6 years. And who knows that it is 6 years, more than 6 years, so what happened? But somehow, he went to all the teachers and all the schools, all the methods, all the patterns he followed. And after that, he understood this everything is not going to work. It all depending from justification. That is why, justifying. So then from there he start to deeply observe. And then there was a moment that he went beyond the observation. And that is the method of the vipassana. And then after that, he taught this Dhamma. And today, even that it doesn't matter who you are, the beggar or the king, and it doesn't matter that the gender, it doesn't matter that that wherever you born, even that in the garbage can, that sometimes when the baby is born, sometimes parents throw them to the garbage. And there were incidents like that. The great physician Jivaka, that's how he born, that his mother throw him away. And but look, anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you take few years to walk yourself and no lotus flowers for you. And but still when you develop your life and you able to see the same thing like the Buddha understood, if you develop the path of the vipassana, and that was a great challenge for all the hierarchies. Everybody hold the power because of the information. And the Buddha destroyed that everything and brought everybody, whoever follow the Dhamma, anyone can, without any hierarchy, without following anybody, without giving any kind of, puja to somebody. No, you don't need to do this anything. You can attain to the enlightenment. And that was a great risk. Still, it is a great risk for this all the people who hold the hierarchy powers around. It's everywhere. Even there are some temples that the Buddha statue, everybody cannot go close to the Buddha. There is a big curtain. Only there are, whoever the monks like, then they can go beyond that curtain. So it's like that. It's everywhere. Even the church, or the temple, the mosque, any religion, you see this. There are certain places, so you cannot come, you have to stay there. So only I am able to, I am the qualified person to go beyond this. So it's like that. But when it comes to the truth, it is not like that. This all The boundaries, when you go with the justification, so then yourself remember, don't stuck in that mud. It is mud. It is some, it take all the greed, hatred, delusion, and everything that you experience in that muddy world. So yourself, the real purification come out of the truth. How far you see the truth? Are you willing to see the truth? So that is the path of the Buddha's teaching. So if you able, even if you decide to look for that, remember there are unseen, God, the angels, deities, many other living beings, will appreciate you. Why? Because this conventional life, the itself, it is a kind of, the illusion. You know yourself, that the way we behave in the world, it never going to end. It never going to come to a point, this everything going to be okay. No, it's always more and mud going to happen. So then it is a great challenge for you to find out the truth. Why? Because there are a lot of that the lies and unnecessary information came to the path of the wisdom. So when it comes to meditation, and the very word called bhavana, bhaveti kusala dhamme aseveti vaddeti bhavana. So that is the way that explain what is the bhavana. So when it come to the English language, it called meditation. And now all over the world, the people talk about meditation. But bhavana is not meditation. But only thing, the thing is, conventionally, that is what people know. So then first we have to take that. And then from there, we have to go beyond it. So that's why as a method of teachings, and we have to use it. Because why? That is the available knowledge. That is the available words we have. So the meditation is kind of like a think over. You thinking. Think over. Pondering and looking. Concentration. So the concentrate, you need thoughts. And when you think over, that means you need to use the thoughts. But when it comes to bhavana, it is different. In Buddhism, there are three ways that the knowledge, how you can access to truth. Shrutame jnana, chintame jnana, bhavaname jnana. So Shrutame jnana means this justification. All the information that you hear, that related to the justification. Chintame jnana, that means you think over. Like as example, loving kindness meditation. Buddhanussati bhavana. So you thinking whatever the qualities of the Buddha, you think again and again. Loving kindness meditation. You think about, may all living beings be well and happy. And then there is a last one called bhavaname jnana. That is what the vipassana. So when it comes to bhavaname jnana, that is what you need to access to the truth. So our purpose should be to get into that bottom line. That is the main purpose of this whole practice. It should be your main purpose, because that is where you really gain your freedom. And that is where you break down all the hierarchies, powers. That is where you break down all these conventional boundaries. So when it comes to bhavana me jnana, what is the bhavana means? So the bhavana means, in one way, that you cultivating or developing your mind and allow it to happen itself without putting any effort on it. So as example, when you plant a seed, so, and you put the water and if it is the right soil, so then what will happen to that seed? So the very first thing is, you cannot disturb to that seed. You have to allow that seed to settle down there. And that is where it's going to transform to the plant. So like that, in the beginning, you have to allow your mind and heart to settle down. When your mind and heart settle down with your entire body, so what is happening? It's deeply going to settle down your thoughts. This is what, listen very carefully. When you see, if there are thoughts, with that thoughts you cannot see. When you see, there are no thoughts. If there are thoughts, you cannot see. So this both cannot go together. So convinced that in the Shrutame Jnana or the Bhavana Chintame Jnana, this all involving with the thoughts. But when it comes to the Bhavana Jnana, access to the ultimate truth, you cannot go with the thoughts. So then you have to develop the art of seeing. So that is what Vipassana. So to see that way, you have to allow everything to settle down itself. So as example, when you see a tree, if you see the tree with the name, you're not going to see the tree. You see your thoughts. Try it. When you go out, try it. You will see. But if you see the tree without the name, you're going to see something about that tree. That understanding is not related to the thoughts that already having within yourself. So then it's going to become new knowledge to you. So that is not justification. Why? Because what you experience, maybe no one going to experience, but that doesn't mean it is not truth, because you experience it. And once you experience it, you don't look for any validation. But in justification, not like that. You always look for justification. But when you experience, when you see, you don't need that anything. That is where you start to exist independently. That is where you become free from others' views, patterns, culture, traditions. So that freedom help you to cultivate again and again and again and again to see what should happen, to see in the beginning this everything, your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind need to settle down. There is a word in Sanskrit word called bhava. Like in theaters, when they perform, when you express the ideas, your expressions through your face, your hands, it's called bhava. So that means you take out whatever that related to you and you completely surrender to the character, whatever the character you perform, you surrender to that nature. That is called bhava. So that means anymore there are no thoughts related to you. And there is another, in astrology, there is another word called bhava. In that bhava means So whatever the sign, there are houses that the sign related to their place. When that sign come to that place, that's mean it own house, it called bhava. So when you look at the behavior of this word, when it come to bhavana, so that's mean when your five aggregates, form, feeling, sensation, formation, consciousness, when everything settle down to one level, the flow of the energy start to go in and out without getting disturbed from the defilement. So that is what the one way that you can experience the universal energy. Because when the five aggregates, in the beginning, form, feeling, sensation, formation, consciousness, this all in conventional life, this all get disturbed. Each and every performance get disturbed out of your past experience or the thoughts or mental formations or defilement. But the seeing means this all five aggregates start to get into a line. And in that level, the whatever the perception and have a flow and without getting disturbed and without going to past or the future or without even related to any timeline, the flow start to happening. That flow is called bhavana. So in that level, your heart and your brain and start to communicate and in the same level. So there is no emotions and there is no greed, hatred or the delusions or like the defilements, because you are not thinking about the past or you're not depending from past. So in that moment, what you experience is the real truth. So that truth, if you're able to experience for one moment, from that moment, and you never going to depend from the justification, or you never going to depend on this conventional life. So this is the method that you have to little by little and practice. So because this information is important. Why? Because if you don't recognize what is the real truth, you may recognize something else and you're going to hold it to that, and you end up your life and believing something else, and you have never idea what is truth. So that is what happening everywhere. And people practice meditation. What they does? They just contemplating. That means they go with their thoughts, thinking about thoughts. And while you having thoughts, you're not going to see anything. It's not going to happen. So to see something, you have to drop the thoughts. So when you drop the thoughts, what is happening with the perception, form, feeling, sensation, formations, consciousness, and start to have a same flow, and then that experience. And in moment by moment, it's not going to relate it to the time or the place or the space, and moment by moment, the flow keep going. So that is the highest of the achievement of this mental practice. So that is when you practice vipassana, that's why I say just be. Just let everything to settle down. Completely be free and just allow it to happen. So whenever you have time, just for a 5 minute, 10 minute, give a try. Because this is just the information, but yourself, you have to try little by little. little by little. So if you are able to practice that yourself, and this information will help for you to drop down this all unnecessary informations. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata cha ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahannotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.